Welcome along to qualifying at Suzuka, round 3 of 24 in the 2025 Formula 1 World Championship. We are looking at Jack Doohan, who has recovered after a huge crash in FP2 yesterday. What can he do? On board then with Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin, the man who has won this Grand Prix back in 2006. This is 2025. He crosses the line and goes 11th fastest. So at the moment he's through, but is this going to be enough? We will find out. Now we're on board with Pierre Gasly in the Alpine, rounding the final corner. He is hoping that he can get through 9th fastest. That could be good enough. And yeah, so let's see what Jack Doohan can do. Can he get through? No, he can't. Jack Doohan, who had a huge crash in practice yesterday, doesn't get through to the top 15. He's out in Q1, 16th. Isaac Hadjar crosses the line, goes 12th in the Racing Bulls. That's not bad from one of the rookies on the grid. The man who's having problems with seatbelts is trying absolutely everything to fix it, but he's into Q2 for the time being. Ocon is 15th fastest, strolls out, he's slowest of all. Hulkenberg gets into Q2 so far in the Sauber. Good lap time from the German. Now we're on board with Liam Lawson back in the Racing Bulls team after a late switch from Red Bull to Racing Bulls, replaced by Yuki Tsunoda. He's back in the Racing Bulls. Can he get into Q2? Yes, he can. 15th fastest for Liam Lawson. First time he's been into Q2 this season, as Ollie Behrman goes 12th fastest. Yuki Tsunoda, in his first qualifying for Red Bull, will get into Q2 as well. And this is what happened to Lance Stroll, who had a snap before the deadeners and going on into the gravel, and that's ruined his lap. So Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Ocon, Doohan and Stroll, the 5 drivers knocked out in Q1, and it's Lando Norris fastest, the championship leader in the McLaren on top. Yuki Tsunoda only 11th as he crosses the line, and sadly for him on his home Grand Prix and his debut for Red Bull, he's out in Q2, but Tsunoda tried everything but just doesn't have the pace to get into Q3 so far today. Isaac Hadjar has gone 8th fastest. He's through to Q3 at the moment. Can Liam Lawson join him on board and with the Kiwi? And he's done it at the moment. Lawson at the moment in Q3 on his return to Racing Bulls. What about the likes of the cars behind him though? Alonso and Behrman are actually on laps to do that. Alonso coming round the chicane, now round the final corner for the last time. Can he get into Q3? He does at the moment. 10th for Alonso. Lawson is out. What about Ollie Behrman, who goes 8th fastest? Good rate lap once again from Oliver Behrman in the Haas. He's looking good to get into Q3. What about Pierre Gasly? No, he's out. 11th fastest for Pierre Gasly. Alex Albon is the driver at risk at the moment, but now we are looking at Albon's teammate Carlos Sainz in the Williams, who's coming out Spoon Curve now, down towards 130R. Can the Spaniard get his Williams into the top 10? At the moment, he's on course to do that. He just needs to get this final chicane right, and then he'll be able to get an appearance in Q3. As Piastri goes 4th fastest, he's definitely through. Can Sainz join them though? Sainz crosses the line! No, 12th fastest. But a smooth operator. Sainz is out in Q2 once again. Albon survives. So Gasly, Sainz, Alonso, Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda, the home favourite on his Red Bull debut, out in Q2, and he'll be hoping that he will get some pace tomorrow. On board with George Russell, who's been on the podium for the first 2 races this season, and at the moment he's on pole position. Max Verstappen, who hasn't had a front row start nor a pole position so far this season. At the moment, he's on course to take it away from George Russell, but Piastri has had an absolute blinding middle sector. He's definitely in contention. Watch out for the McLarens. Verstappen crosses the line, and at the moment, he is on pole by 0.04 of a second. But here comes Oscar Piastri on what will be his birthday tomorrow, crosses the line, and at the moment, he will start his birthday race on pole position. That's a great lap from the Australian, who was on pole last time out in China. What about Lando Norris? Only 4th. for the championship leader. And so that must have been a mistake for Lando, hoping that will get a better lap later on. Watch out for Charles Leclerc. He's close to Piastri in the first two sectors. Hamilton only fifth fastest, but here comes Charles Leclerc, who was on the front row two times here before at Suzuka, and he's looking to take it away from Verstappen, and he doesn't do it, but he is third fastest. That's still a good lap from Leclerc. Here comes Lando Norris then. Can he take pole for the Japanese Grand Prix? Yes, he can. Lando Norris takes pole away from Oscar Piastri, the championship leader, back at the front of the grid. Hamilton only eighth fastest as he crosses the line. So that is a disastrous qualifying for him. So Lando Norris is on pole, unless someone can deny him, and that someone could be Max Verstappen. This man, who thinks he's still slower than the McLarens for the first stage of the season, he got pace to challenge the McLarens. Verstappen crossing the line, he's done it! Verstappen has snatched pole! Where did that come from? That was unbelievable for Max Verstappen. But it's not over. Can Oscar Piastri beat him? No, he can't. By 4.5 hundredths, he misses out. Max Verstappen, out of absolutely nowhere, takes his first pole position of 2025. Absolutely unbelievable. What a final sector. What a lap. And that is why he's the reigning champion. It's Max on pole.
That is insane. Pole position.
Yes, let's go! Wow! What a yes, guys!
What a lap. What a lap, Max. Unbelievable. You've done it.
I just wow. Yeah, I'm really happy. Wow.
What a lap from the reigning world champion. Max Verstappen finally takes his first pole of 2025 after an absolute stonking lap out of absolutely nowhere. The reigning world champion will start on pole for the Japanese Grand Prix.